Hi pals, it's me, Artie, then in pronouns only. And yeah, new hair just dropped. Hi. This video is just a collection of clips of me vlogging my recent ADHD titration experience. I haven't technically completely finished, but I am literally just waiting for this last appointment to be like officially discharged back to my GP, who will be the people basically filling in my prescriptions. So I feel like it's close enough to the end, it's fine. I finished my forms a couple of weeks ago and it's literally just been trying to sort out this last appointment. So I hope you enjoy this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I'm not supposed to be unhappy that I am at the top of the ADHD titration list again, but I was told 7 months and I have so much going on this month, I'm going to lose my mind. I got like 3 text messages, 3 emails for one Psychiatry UK portal update. And then they did it again later, where I got several text messages and several emails for the same thing. I went onto the portal earlier in the day after those first lot of messages, and basically it was saying that I am at the top of the waiting list for ADHD meds titration again. And usually I'd be happy that it was early, but because there's so many things going on at the moment, I'm not happy at all. And that means I have to do things like blood pressure readings and filling in more forms. And then also they said that they can't make something that's happening stop happening. It's an IT thing, so I have to contact IT. And it's like, I've been complaining about this thing for a while and only now you're telling me this. So I sent that off. I have to look at the portal today and what they want specifically now. The prescribing nurse is concerned basically because the lower number of my blood pressure is pretty high. It's between like 94 and 104. My heart rate is also high, which I did explain this all in more detail anyway, that this is a really stressful time. I was expecting this to be going on in early January and not now, when I'd hopefully have had some of this other stuff sorted out first. And I was very anxious the day I did my first blood pressure reading, which is why my heart rate was so high and my blood pressure was even higher than it usually is. But also I had to fill in other questions that I didn't even notice were being asked of me because I didn't. So I filled all those in with more information about my health conditions and stuff. So they want to go and talk to somebody, like another consultant, about me more, about what to do. Because I did also admit to him, I was like, yeah, I mean, I did speak to the consultant I last saw and wanted to try a different ADHD medication. I was asking about different stimulants because I feel like the one that I'm on makes me feel like shit, which is something I have talked about a few times. I think that was in my ADHD update video in a bit more detail. And he just responded as like, you seem overstimulated. My guy, I don't think my blood pressure does that if I'm just overstimulated, but what the fuck ever. Maybe this prescribing nurse being more careful about it will be a good thing, that I'll be trying a different type of ADHD medication rather than just the shorter acting same kind that this other guy basically ignored everything I said and told me that we would do that instead. But it is also frustrating because it's like, well, not much has changed since the last time I did ADHD titration. I'm on almost the exact same medications besides maybe 1 or 2, and now I'm on the waiting list for cardio for dysautonomia, which isn't technically a heart condition. It's autonomic. It's an autonomic condition. So yeah, in some ways I'm a bit annoyed because like I asked what the specific reasons were that he wanted to go and ask a consultant for more information about, you know, making a plan for what to do with me basically. And like a lot of the things he listed were things that were not a problem last time. Things like my thyroid. Like I've had an underactive thyroid for at least a decade, if not longer, and that's like a background condition at this point, because I've not had to do anything differently since I got the diagnosis. I'm just on the same dose of thyroxine that I've been on since I was diagnosed, and I just get a blood test to check every year. Everything's still fine. I think my dog's come upstairs. My arm hurts. So it was weird that that was included, and he also just like basically copied and pasted my entire list of medications, which again is the same list of medications from the last time I did stimulant titration, but also the same list of medications that I sent to the consultant that I saw. I think it was June or July for my like yearly, just like medication check, or what the fuck ever. So yeah, it's a bit weird. Like, I appreciate wanting to check stuff, but I am worried that I either won't be given any options for ADHD medication, or the options I'm given don't work, because I can't even be on full dose of what I've been prescribed anyway, because it just really makes my body like have the shakes and shit. Like, I'm open to trying a non-stimulant medication, but I'm worried it won't work. It took over a week for the prescribing nurse in Psychiatry UK to get back to me about what we were doing with my ADHD medication. For them to just go, actually, yeah, we've decided it's fine. Haha, lol, never mind, XOXO. And it's like, you've delayed this by a week and a half, which also, like, I kind of don't mind because I didn't want to be dealing with this right now anyway, but it's just very annoying. And also, so I had to fill in another form with all of those same details: weight, height, heart rate, blood pressure. So I did my blood pressure twice today, and my first BP, the lower number was 99. But then in 5 minutes time, it was 87. And this is what I mean by, like, I don't know what's going on with my blood pressure, because it changes so much literally all day that it's just a bit like, I don't know, my guy. I also came off my ADHD meds for like 5 days because I just had enough of dealing with all of this, like, all these issues. I was just like, I just need to stop. I fell asleep in the middle of the day on like day 2. Like, early afternoon, I just fucking fell asleep because I wasn't on my ADHD meds. And that was something I was talking to my therapist about, that I was anxious that if I either was told I couldn't have any ADHD meds, or if I was on a non-stimulant ADHD med, that I would be dealing with more of these fatigue problems again, and the inability to stay awake. And then that fucks up your sleep, because I then couldn't sleep properly the next night, and I was up reading about porticas and crying. And then I had to go and vape some weed because that was the only I know that's the only thing that helps me go to sleep. Oh yeah, where even was I? Oh my god. It's been a fucking hell week. Yeah, it's hard. I'm gonna be starting this new ADHD medication soon now, so hopefully I'll get that by the end of this week, maybe. I've got a lot of my current ADHD medication just left over now, so it's a bit like, I don't know what to do with all of that at the moment. I also was honest with them and said that I've been on like half of the dose that I was usually on, or was meant to be on, because of the heart rate and blood pressure stuff. Let me see what they said in their thingy. Oh yeah, well, they're starting me at really low dose anyway for this other one. 5 milligrams twice a day for 7 days is the starting point. I don't really understand the way they've written this, because it says that the start is 5 p.m. What do you mean the start is at 5 p.m? Best time to take them is 8 and 12. 8 and 12, 8 and 12, 8 and 12. So they're expecting me to take 2 doses, one at 8 in the morning and one in the middle of the day. So God knows what's going to happen there. I don't know when I'm going to be awake, so I don't know if I'll be taking that, but I mean, at least I now know it's the 5 milligrams twice a day. What? Damn, the way they've written this is not helpful. They all have a start date of the 30th of the 10th, which obviously is not the case, but they all just say start date 30th of the 10th. I'm like, I'm gonna have to fucking email them this now. Just, like, you know, I just feel extremely harassed. I also saw on my fucking Psychiatry UK thing that for my repeat prescription, I'm gonna have to put it in before the 13th of December to make sure I fucking get enough meds for over Christmas. Like, that is such an early cut-off date. They're all just fucking off. Like, started my new ADHD meds as well, and I'm on a really low dose. I just can't even fucking work out how to book a Like, Jesus Christ, why does the sight get worse every time I use it? But it's probably time for my second ADHD med of the day. I'm just so fucking tired. I don't know why I felt unhinged enough to make phone calls. I have started my new ADHD medication finally. After like a week of like silence, I was like, hi. Well, technically it was more than a week by that point, by the time they answered. I was like, hi, not heard anything. Have we made any decisions about my healthcare and whether we're going to continue on with this medication or we're going to do a different one? That is gabapentin, not my ADHD medication. Very good. Good start. Because yeah, after I disclosed or like filled in the questions about like my health and mental well-being and history and all that sort of thing, they were like, I don't know if we should do this. I don't know if this is okay. And I was like, okay, can you please clarify like what it is you need to talk to somebody about? And he said just my entire list of medication. I was like, okay. The blood pressure readings and the still awaiting cardio appointment, yeah, I get, because that's different than last time. But bringing up my thyroid when I've had this diagnosed and under control basically since it was diagnosed, God knows how many fucking years ago at this point now, more than 10 years ago maybe, like why is that on the list? Especially considering I have hypothyroidism, not hyper. So yeah, that was a weird one. But yeah, they basically responded being like, lol, JK, you were right, not necessary, so we'll just go ahead, so sorry for the delay. And I was like, cool, thanks so much. Yeah, I've been on them a week. The first week was kind of shit because the titration dose that they're doing is really low. So I was taking 2 5-milligram tablets twice, like, well, one milligram tablet, one 5-milligram tablet twice a day, which is a lot less than what I have been taking, even on half of my actual dose, because I was on my 18-milligram microgram tablets. So this is like almost a quarter of that. And I have to try and remember to take it twice a day, because Medikinet is like a mixed release tablet. So it's short and long. You basically have to take them twice a day to last for the full day, which hopefully by the end of this, once we work out the right dose, it won't be as much of like an issue that maybe I will sometimes only take one pill, because I definitely don't always need to be like ADHD med up from first thing in the morning all the time until, you know, the last thing in the evening. So at the moment they also just recommend you take it at 8 and then 12, which is what, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. That's like 4 hours. That doesn't feel like an extended release in any capacity. So I don't really know. Obviously I'm not even taking it at 8. I'm taking it like 8:30 or 9 and then taking it around 1 or 2ish. My blood pressure's better at the moment. I've stopped a lot of other stressful things, sorted out some other stressful things, but also I think being on such a low dose of ADHD medication helps. But it is still weird readings. I think my last reading, the top number was very low compared to the bottom number. So I think it was like 105/80 something, like 85 or 87. So like the lower number's coming down as well, but it is it's off balance, you know, especially seeing as the higher number a lot of the time for me usually has been somewhere between 120 and 135 on like a good day. It's been higher on some of the worst days. I'm now on my second week where I'm taking 10-milligram tablets twice a day, but it's I'm taking 2 5s twice a day. I think it's just something, I don't know, but that's what they told me to do. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, I've got another 7 days of this one. Then the next one I think is 9 days. and that's when I'll be taking 15 milligrams, micrograms twice a day. Yeah, so I don't really have a lot of updates so far on that, but I thought it might be useful to track some of this for another like combo ADHD med video later on when I'm done titrating. But yeah, generally I don't really feel much of anything. I'm definitely still trying to rely on the this is worse for sure, my word retrieval. On a lower dose, but I've already forgotten what I was saying. I'm trying to rely on the fact that the meds I was on before kind of helped me build up not a schedule per se, but like, you know, some habits. So I'm trying to just let my body and brain rely on those habits a bit whilst I'm still struggling with like cognitive stuff whilst I'm on a really low dose. I have also been getting headaches. I think that's just other stuff going on, because also I've not done yoga in a while because she stopped doing the weekend classes. Apparently propranolol can actually help migraines as well. So God fucking knows when I'm gonna see this cardiologist. Apparently I'm now expecting to be contacted mid-December for an appointment, not necessarily be seen in mid-December. So that's shit, to be honest. But yeah, that's my update so far on my new medication titration for ADHD. It's been another week and my dose has changed. Again, I think the 10 micrograms, milligrams, whatever it is, dose was nowhere near enough, as usual. I've been on, I think, the 15 now for a couple of days. I think they're kicking in a bit more than some of the other ones had done. The other doses. But I am also just like completely exhausted and worn down by everything just going on. So cognitively not great overall. I am feeling at least a little bit like, well, it's gone a little bit easier to get into doing things or to start doing things than it has been generally recently, and finishing off certain like tasks or projects. Less interest in food, which is a positive for me, because being understimulated and overstimulated, I often lean on food a lot in those circumstances, especially when I'm worn out with possibly ME crashes. So yeah, some minor improvement in that regard, but not a whole lot of improvement overall. I am now on 20 milligrams for ADHD meds. I don't really know what the plan is now from here because it's the holidays, so I'm pretty sure my meds have just turned up. That will hopefully be enough for the Christmas period, because they were like, you have to order before the 10th of December. I was like, what do you mean? My titration isn't anywhere near done, or like even like near the first part of this titration is nowhere near done. So I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing next. I was on the 15 milligrams for 9 days, and then I didn't have any further details for how long I should be on the 24, so I'm gonna have to ask them again at some point, which is annoying. I haven't updated this in a while because, it was Christmas and New Year. So a lot of services have been difficult to use or access, and honestly, ADHD stuff has kind of been on the back burner a lot. I'm still on the 20 milligrams. I'm supposed to be taking it twice a day. I haven't been taking it twice a day because the dosage timings they were telling me was like after 4 hours, and I feel like these definitely work for like 6. And I don't necessarily need longer than 6 hours a lot of the time. I definitely do sometimes, so I think the twice a day is good generally. It's kind of like how before I was only taking half a dose instead of the full dose most of the time, because I definitely didn't need that full dose I was on before every single day, especially when, regardless of dose, it lasted for 12 hours, which was really hard to just like schedule without fucking up my sleep. So like my sleep hasn't been great, but I don't think that's to do with the medication. My blood pressure and heart rate is still quite high, but they are like still just within like the right range to continue with my ADHD medication. I feel like 20 is where I feel like it's actually doing something for me mentally. And I've said for now I'm fine just sticking to 20, but if I change my mind I'll let them know, just if I wanted to try a higher dose, even like for a short while. But also I have a medical exemption card that means I don't pay for my prescriptions, but that I had to renew that because it ran out on the 31st of December. So now I can't order any more prescriptions until I get the new card. I'm recording this on the 4th of January, so, and obviously I put all of this in long before the 31st of December. I'm pretty sure I did it around the 20th, maybe even earlier than that. I don't think they should allow anything to be done around Christmas time in the UK, because regardless of whether you personally celebrate, nothing fucking works here. I had to order a lot of my ADHD medication well before I needed it anyway as well, and had to try and organise that with the titration nurse, because it didn't make sense to me. Like, oh, well, I'm still titrating up on doses, but you need me to put in a prescription before the 10th, but my meds go until like the 15th or whatever. So yeah, like, I think this is a good dose. I don't feel like it's really aggravating anything as much as my other medication was, which is, I don't know why, because they're still the same type of medication. It's just the dose and the type of release is different, because this one's a combination, like a combined release, where it's both fast and longer acting. I have them here. Modified release capsules. And it says XL like my last meds did, but it's definitely not the same XL as those last meds. But look, at least I've got some cute coloured pills this time. I've got some nice little lavender pills. Most of my pills are really boring colours. Mostly white, a lot of beige, and My Mercaptopurine is like a minty green, and my fexofenadine is like a bit more of an orangey beige. So like, it's nice having a cute little lavender coloured medication. Like, this is lighthearted. It's not that big of a deal. It's just one of them small things of like, wow, isn't this nice having medication that kind of looks cute for once? Because like, being a Tumblr girly in the early 2000s, where mental illness was romanticized in a bad way, everyone took photos of their pills, and all their pills were like cute, or at least aesthetically pleasing to some degree. Because like, even if all my pills were just white, that would be aesthetically pleasing. But it's the funny little beige tablets I get that are just like, wow, I'm a million years old. So yeah, it's just one of them small things of like, oh, isn't this nice? Isn't this nice? A small pleasantry of having some slightly nicer looking medication. Also, filming this after not sleeping well last night because of gastro issues, and I'm in a lot of pain still. So that's fun. But yeah, whenever I get my fucking renewed medical exemption card, I can think about if I would like to try a higher dose. And one of my side missions at the moment is continually pestering the mental health services I'm under, who aren't Psychiatry UK, about starting propranolol. I did read like a how to pronounce it, but like, I don't remember. So I'm just gonna carry on saying it like that, because regardless of when, if, how much of my ADHD meds I take, I am still just having a really heightened, like, it's not even just anxiety. It's a really bad, like, constant fight or flight, just all the time. Like, it's very difficult for me to not be in fight or flight at the moment, because it is literally so much physical symptoms. And apparently my face flushing could actually be linked to this. Maybe it's not allergies. I mean, some of it's definitely allergies, but that's like a simple contact dermatitis kind of allergy. But apparently it could literally just be that I'm so mentally ill. And I just feel like my body's constantly pumping adrenaline round. Particularly when like anything happens, if I have to speak to anybody, if I have to leave the house at all. It's been so bad. And because I've had that cardiology appointment that was meant to be in December, but apparently 3 people can't read the waitlist or understand their own systems, I won't be seen for like 6 months more. I can't wait 6 months. I need to have some propranolol now. Thank you. Also, my blood pressure machine is running out of battery, but I don't know where I have any, I think, AA batteries to replace them, because the readings were higher than normal, and they just kept staying high. But as soon as I used my mum's fully charged blood pressure machine, they were down to more my normal range. So I think I need to change the batteries for my blood pressure machine, otherwise all of my readings are just going to be wrong. I don't know where the batteries are. We did buy some recently, but I don't know where they are. After getting a lot of other admin things sort of done and out of the way, sorry, that was a twitch in my hand. I'm not necessarily saying that I'm less busy, but I feel like I have more brain space. And some of the things I've had to do, including my month where my art was up at the Query for sale, as well as doing workshops there for most of the weekends in January, which hasn't happened yet. I've set up yesterday when I'm filming this, but I think I still have like 4 weeks left of titration, so I probably won't be posting this until February at some point. But yeah, a lot of those things has meant I've freed up some literal, like, physical space in my room and stuff for a while anyway, as well as some mental space, because now that's all done and we've sorted the majority of that stuff, so I don't really have to think or worry about it too much. It's just sort of like getting there and coming home now. My mum volunteered as tribute to start helping me sort out my clean clothes that have been in buckets for months, because I did not have the energy or executive function to sort out any of my clothes, because of how much the medical admin just takes up, like, brain space, but also physical energy. That's something I read with ME, is that even like too much cognitive energy being used has like a lot of physical impact. So interesting. What was the point? So yeah, I feel like we're slowly starting to get some things sorted at home, because as well, all through like the end of December I was doing a lot of like painting for this exhibition, which was taking up a lot of time, physical ability and energy, and literal space, because I couldn't put things away because I needed to leave things out to dry. So yeah, I think hopefully some of my days where I don't have loads of stuff to do or things or people to chase, I would like to be able to try and sort out some of the things that have become a huge mess, and see if I can find more suitable ways of managing and dealing with those things. Because like, I did that video a while ago and some of those things are still helpful today, but when there's so much on at once, when you have ADHD, whether you're on meds or not, because they are not a total cure for anything, but also when you're chronically ill, it becomes impossible to manage everything. And yeah, I mean, I'm laying in bed because I feel like so awful at the moment. But yeah, there's a lot of stuff still everywhere that I need to sort out. Ugh. I'm so annoyed as well at this like physical health blip last night, because I think I was starting to feel a little bit more stable generally. And I'm not entirely sure what it was that set this off. I think it was possibly a mixture between maybe a certain ingredient in my food last night, but also eating my food later than I usually would. But I was so exhausted from doing the setting up yesterday that I just didn't think I would be able to sort my own food out, even partially. So I was like, no, I'll just wait until you come back from walking a dog. Also, these are my eyebrows from yesterday. I mean, I'm having a bath later, so make them worth it. This is absolutely not related to anything I'm talking about. I feel like shit. Bye. So it is the last week or so of my ADHD titration period. I've had a lot of issues again with the Psychiatry UK's portal that I've had to report to several people, because they're just kind of like a company that don't really want to sort things out or take that responsibility to find the right person to sort it out. It's always kind of on you to contact the right people, because like the amount of times I've reported some kind of like portal IT related issue and they just keep telling me I have to go and speak to IT, but there doesn't seem to be like a direct way of doing that through the portal. You have to go to the website and file like an IT whatever. And this time around, the issue is that I had my autism assessment on the 15th of January. And from then, all of my like ADHD direct contacts have been removed. And I mentioned it to a few people and they were like, oh, I don't know why, or that'll be an IT issue. So I eventually contacted IT about it, and for one, they brushed me off immediately, saying that I'd finished my titration period. And I was like, I haven't though, because you can also see on my portal that I think at the time I had like 4 ADHD medication monitoring forms still to do, which meant that I have 4 weeks left. So I sent that back being like, I haven't finished that though, I'm like still actively in the titration period. And they're like, oh, we can't do anything about that, someone else has to like put them back on your like system. And I was like, everyone keeps telling me this is your job. Everyone I've spoken to has said it's an IT issue. So I've come to IT because everyone else keeps saying that they can't do anything about it. So I ended up screenshotting that and forwarding it to the patient experience person because, of course, I have more complaints. So I was making more complaints. I got another message from the IT people being like, oh, actually, lol, we've had another look at what you've said in your account and actually it looks like, yeah, you were right. And it's actually a bug that we have been commonly dealing with for anyone under both ADHD and autism, which is silly. It's like, okay, I have so many issues with their portal. Like, for one, it's just like one long list of individual messages, yours and all of the clinicians and all of the admin team. And it's like, it makes it a lot harder to find things because it's just a long trail of all of these interactions without any kind of like categorization. Like, not even under like who sent them, not even in like an email way where it's like an interaction between you and one particular person, not even under like specific department / diagnosis like ADHD or autism. It's all just mushed in to one. So it's that's one thing I really hate about it, is that there's no easier way of finding something, you just have to fucking scroll. But yeah, they were like, oh yeah, this is actually like a really common bug we're having at the moment, so yeah, we've re-added your titration nurse, because I was like, I need to at least be able to contact my titration nurse in the meantime. Like, it's just silly, you know, complete 180 from their previous message to me being like, we can't do that, someone else in a specific role has to add these people back on, to being like, oh no, yeah, actually totally our bad, you're correct, and we will sort that out. And yeah, generally I have stayed on the 20 milligrams twice a day, although I haven't really been taking it twice a day. They last about 6 hours, so usually that's kind of enough for like a day's worth of activities or work without it bleeding into my evening. However, definitely good to have like the option of 2 doses in a day for like a longer day or an evening activity that I have to do, you know, whatever. I've not really had any major issues on this dose, especially like, you know, since starting propranolol from my local mental health service. All the other issues I was having that I wasn't sure what exactly it was even related to are for the most part gone. It's obviously a lower dose than what I was on before, but I feel like a mixture of the dose being a bit lower, the option of having a longer day if I want or need it, but also that it kind of only lasts for 6 hours maximum, particularly as like a chronically ill person, that a lot of the times I don't really need longer than that. And I think as well the different kind of release that it is, that it's a mixture of immediate and a bit more of a longer lasting release, has really helped. Yeah, I just genuinely have not been feeling a lot of the negatives that I felt on the last medication. It's a bit easier to keep up with like a sleeping schedule, even though like it's been a little bit fucked recently. I've been going to sleep a lot later than I usually would, but it's fine. I usually wake up around the same-ish time. Although, yeah, recently I have then also slept a bit longer after taking my morning meds and all that sort of thing. And I think it like is complemented really well by the propranolol because of just all the issues I was having on or off ADHD meds. But yeah, I just generally feel a lot more grounded at the moment. But yeah, I haven't really updated on this for a while because everything's been the same. I'm just sort of updating because we're near the end of all of this. And like in some ways I feel kind of renewed mentally and like motivationally. I don't know. I feel like I can do things again. Especially with all of the awful side effects or symptoms I was having before, where I just always felt in fight or flight. It made it really hard to actually do things. It made me more avoidant in a lot of ways, procrastinate more. So yeah, I feel like finding this sort of ADHD medication as well as pairing it with propranolol has definitely helped me get to a point where I just feel a little bit more stable. So I'm probably going to end up repeating myself in this summary, but like basically I think one part is I found a medication that I feel like is a good dose and lasts a good amount of time for me and doesn't really give me any other side effects that other medications seem to do or seem to aggravate more. But also pairing it with propranolol has been really helpful generally for my brain, because even off of ADHD medication I was still struggling with a lot of things that propranolol's helping with. So yeah, I feel like I get a good 6 hours on this medication. If I need longer I can take 2 because that's the prescription I have, is 2 a day. Which gives me a decent amount of flexibility with how I can use it. That it feels like, you know, I can take 1 if it's more of a chill, mellow, or even like unwell day. But I can also take 2 if it's a long day, a work day, or like a lot's going on. So there's a long period of doing stuff that I need to be like brain functioning for. It helps they're cute. And yeah, there's obviously been quite a lot of frustrating issues this time round to do with admin related problems, to do with some of the team members being a bit over cautious. And then another thing that's I don't think I've mentioned that has come up as well is that after this discharge, I'm now also required to provide blood pressure readings at like 6 monthly intervals, which I didn't have to do last time, when I'm pretty sure my blood pressure was around this last time I did titration. So it's a bit annoying that that is now a thing this time. I'm not sure how I'll be notified of that. I guess through the portal. Yeah, I don't have this official discharge appointment until I think the 26th of February, this coming Monday, so a week from when I'm filming this, but less than that from when this goes live. I feel a lot more stabilised emotionally, both because of being sort of consistently on an ADHD medication and the propranolol. I remember, yeah, before being consistently on this ADHD medication, I felt like a complete fucking mess all the time. Everything was so unpredictable, and then like the re-titrating early on in this video where I was on a really small dose of this new medication and I just like couldn't use my brain and just got really upset all the time because everything was just so hard. But also, yeah, propranolol has really helped with evening out the rest of the issues that I could not fix in any other way. So yeah, I'm definitely open to doing a video on my experiences with propranolol. Let me know in the comments if you're interested in that. It's basically a beta blocker. It's got a few different uses. Often it can be used in POTS and stuff too. So yeah, if that's something that you would like to hear more about, let me know. I might just do it anyway. Yeah, I don't know really. I I think for now it's okay. Maybe by the time my next yearly like catch up is, I may decide actually I want to try a different dose, or maybe I won't be responding to it as well by then, because that was kind of how it felt with the last medication, that initially it was okay, but then it definitely went downhill. But there could be a few different reasons for that. And I always kind of felt like that previous medication lasted like a really long time. That wasn't great for me in my particular like life circumstances. So yeah, you know, I feel like as well anyway, our bodies change over time. Our bodies change how they respond to medications over time. That, you know, it's very possible that I may not respond to this after a while, or my response may change. And I mean, I have been lucky that my medications haven't been impacted by any of the shortages in the UK when it comes to ADHD meds. I think mainly it's been affecting Vyvanse, or like whatever the generic brand name is for that in the UK. So yeah, I think I've been lucky in that sense that because I've been put on a methylphenidate drug, that I've kind of at least not had to deal with that on top of all the other issues I've been having. As I got to a more steady dose and sort of got to the 20 milligrams, things just kind of got a lot more boring, really. It was just a chore to have to keep remembering to do this stuff for ADHD titration monitoring. The monitoring forms are annoying. I hate them. Having to do those every week, it is not my fave. But like, they were relatively flexible if I filled the form in a couple of days late or a day late or so. And when I've had to not take the medication for a day because of taking other meds like diazepam for the MRA I had in early January, they've been very like chill about that. So when I've just sort of informed them like, hey, I won't be taking this medication on this day because of this, so there you go, bye. But yeah, I feel like generally I'm just glad that this is now kind of over. Another thing that I don't have to think about every week. Hopefully the handover to the GP will be okay, because recently any prescriptions I've had from outside services, I've either been asked to or I've actually had to book GP appointments to like talk and confirm those meds before they will prescribe them to me, which is new and frustrating, really, especially when like a lot of the doctors don't have appointments for like 3 weeks. So if I left any of this stuff to like a normal person's time frame of like a week's worth of meds left, a lot of the time I would end up off of my meds a lot of the time. So we'll see if that handover is as simple and easy as it was the first time round. Yeah, it's annoying. Otherwise, yeah, just glad it's over. Glad I'm gonna be free. Gonna have to work out what I have to write on my prescription request forms now though, because I can't order them through Lloyd's Direct. Yeah, it's annoying. They won't let you at all, even though like the GP still has to confirm it, and then a lot of the times I still have to go, I still have to go pick them up. Like, the GP's prescription goes to Lloyd's Direct anyway, so they still have to give me a code to go and pick it up myself. So why can't I just ask it through Lloyd's Direct? One of my millions of issues with any of these systems is like, that makes no sense and adds way too many extra steps. So yeah, I have to write on these like prescription forms and drop them into my GP practice to ask for repeat prescriptions of my ADHD stimulants. So that's super helpful. Love that. Yeah, that's generally it so far with all of this. If you have any questions, let me know. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share my videos if you haven't done that already. I really appreciate you interacting and sharing my content. It helps boost the algorithmic things for my channel. And yeah, like this is my last sort of mostly pre-recorded videos that I had, which is a bit of a pain in the ass now, because I'm getting one now, having a lot of really bad migraines that really affect my functionality. So like, yeah, the light really hurts, which means I often can't look at screens or I can't have lights on, so that makes filming difficult. It makes watching things to make notes difficult as well. Like people who have migraines know that your brain just doesn't work either. So like trying to like figure out words that make sense when writing notes about anything that I might be planning to make a video on, it do not work. So yeah, I do have a little bit of time this week. Hopefully I'll be able to do some of that, but yeah, I'm a bit behind now because I keep having these horrific migraines just all the time. This bitch, forehead, and for like on my actual head, and biofreeze on my like neck and stuff are the only things really helping me at the moment. No medication is helping. This is why I used to be on amitriptyline. So yeah, that sucks. Hopefully I can figure some videos out so I can record a few in bulk maybe over the next week or so, because I'm coming to the end of a different project that I don't really know how much I can say about on here. I'll find out, but like I've got a lot of work to do on that to finish up sort of by the end of like the first week of March. So yeah, doing some pre-recording will be useful for all of that, so I don't have to try and make and find time to film, and I can just sort of use some spare time for editing. It's a little bit easier that way. But yeah, we'll see. I'm sure I'll work it out, but yeah, it's just been really bad. I'm not really sure why it's been happening. There's a few things on my mind that I think it could be. And also I think this week I may be starting a new medication for Crohn/Takayasu stuff. So we will see how that goes. But yeah, that's it for this week, and I will see you next week with something. Don't know what yet, but with something. But in the meantime, go and watch some of my last few videos. Support the channel, support a small YouTube creator or what the fuck ever. But yeah, I'll see you next week. Bye.